Hi everybody, this is the final video on the mods that I made on my Sovereign GT. About a year ago, give or take a month or two, I purchased the Sovereign GT. And this was the GT that I was purchasing. It wasn't the one I got, but it was the one I thought I was purchasing. And the issue is this. Sometime in the recent past, my lab had decided to create the Sovereign GT with what would only be called a traditional profile detector base. Now, that would be good. Now, this profile had the detector underneath the armrest. So, in effect, what you were doing was you had it like this, and you had to look and set your detector, and it was underneath this. It didn't make any sense. By the way, this is a camera mount. That's not stock. I just don't have the tool to take it off. I will eventually. But so and it just wasn't the detector I wanted. Now, the detector I wanted is now this detector. I bought this an Anderson shaft here. And when I bought the Anderson shaft, it's great, but the only mount point that the Anderson shaft has is for the Minelab forearm cuff. There is no mount for the Sovereign itself. You would have to use the hip mount bag. Fortunately, I bought the hip mount bag at the same time because I thought I'd be using that because just to lighten it up. But I did not want to give up the idea of having it simple from time to time and just using the Sovereign GT and as a unit. So what I did was on the old armrest, the old shaft, there was on the inside here mount points for this. This is an attachment that allows this Sovereign to click or unclick and come off the pole. Now, I MacGyvered it, or you can just say I use a little redneck ingenuity. Either one of those are honorable methods and statements of saying I got it fixed. But what I did was I took this pole attachment. I took this off of the old pole set, and the way I did it was I used a Dremel tool and drilled out those screws that held this plastic piece on the old pole, and then I transferred it to this pole. Now, this is being held in this pole by two functions. It has a permanent mount tape. Permanent and tape doesn't really work together, so I had to do a little extra. I put a permanent mount tape to adhere it, but I also use twist ties. Now, to get those twist ties in there, I actually had to slit the plastic of the mount on either side and then run the twist ties through and tighten them. So now this is pretty doggone sturdy. Now, I don't know if it'll last forever, but it'll last as long as I need it to last. And see, what I now have is both a unit where I can use the bag, to lighten the load, and I can use it as a unified piece. So let me take this. It's not wise to strain the cable that way. So I can get this, and I can pull that back in and snap it in. And voila, it's back and it's ready to go. So what I did was I created the detector profile I wanted. I love the detector. And another thing I did, down here you have the 180 meter. I like the 180 meter. Now I'm getting pretty good at reading the sounds without having the meter, but I still like to have it on here. And this 180 meter is just simply mounted with Velcro. And that's more than enough strength to hold that 180 meter on, so I can actually use it as well. or I can just pop it off and just direct connect it and just use it as a traditional beep and dig machine. So that's basically what I got. So I took Anderson shaft, I transferred this, which is built to transfer, the Mind Lab. Then I jury rigged, rednecked, and or MacGyvered a little connection of this plastic mount from the Sovereign GT over to this using some permanent mounting tape. You can get 3M or Scotch. It's not strong enough to hold this because you're going to be taking this off and on and flexing it. So I reinforced it with some pull ties. And these pull ties were slit into the plastic. So now I've pulled it taut. So now it's just one unit. So that's basically, and I've got right now, I've got the big coil tech coil on there. So that's basically what I did. I changed this from the system that they converted it to, which made no sense at all to me, to the one I wanted. And in this the way this is laid out is sleeker than the best I could do with the other pole. So now I can use this more often in parks in my area. So now it's not just oh Lord, I got to carry the Sovereign GT out. Now I can really carry it, and it has a good profile. It has good balance with the detector in this position with the big coil, so it's not as ungraceful and unbalanced. So I really like this setup. So that's basically it with all the camera jerks. So now I have the detector I wanted. I want to show you what it is, and I'm sure you can do this as well. This was not very difficult. I did not drill any into the Anderson shaft. I just used little ingenuity, and I've got this thing attached sufficiently for it to work, and it could probably work for years in this configuration without me ever having to make any changes. But if I do have changes, I've just got it hooked on by ties. Little clip, they're off. I can reapply, slip them back on, and voila, I'm ready to go again. In any case, I just wanted to show you my Sovereign GT in its current configuration. Now it looks like the Sovereign GT should look, with a long, straight shaft, well balanced and well constructed. At least apparently so. It's not. It's like I said, it's not pretty. But I don't think you can see the alterations I made in here sufficiently from a distance to tell this is anything but factory. In any case, that's all I've got for today. So I just want to show you my Sovereign GT for the last time, and in the configuration I have created, and the configuration that I love, reminiscent of the configuration it should have been from the beginning. In any case, this is Texas Tiger Dig. That's all I've got to say about this right now. I hope to get this out in the field in the next week or so we'll get some results. I love this thing. I love the meter. The 180 meter, when the 180 meter says a nickel, I have most often seen it be a nickel, unlike the pull tabs or square tabs. So I really like the way this works. So I want to get it out and give it a try as well. In any case, this is Texas Tiger Digs, and I will see you back in the field, either with my Sovereign GT or with one of my other machines. We'll just see how it works out. So you have a good night, good day, good morning, whatever. I'll talk to you later.